Hi guys, Mindstone here, and today I will be showing you how to build some decks. And this was done because of a request from a viewer. So yeah, we're gonna jump straight into it, and I'm gonna show you guys how you build some decks. I'm gonna show you aggro, and I'm gonna show you midrange, and I'm gonna show you control today. All using the Paladin as an example. In case you're like lazy or something and you don't bother building your own custom deck, you can use the classic Paladin, the Dragon of Justice, or Shield Sub, but they are all pretty damn bad. So we're gonna go with a custom deck because that's the way we can make the best of the decks. We're just gonna say aggro, and that's our deck now. So for aggro, we will need fairly aggressive cards. So first of all, we're trying to look for the 1-drops. The 0-drops are honestly, they can be played at any point, so we don't really care about them, and we're not going to have any. So we're just going to go for the 1-drops right now. And for aggro, I'm looking at, first of all, getting some good minions for playing on turn 1. Selfless Hero is fairly good. It's got a very strong effect, good value for 1 mana, if you can get a 2-1 and give something else Divine Shield. I'm going to be quite happy with Ancient Squires because they're very good as well. Oh, the 1-1 with Divine Shield. I'm going to be happy about Abusive Sergeant. And there's nothing else in here that I feel like I want. So I'm just going to go on to turn 2. Because you've got to make sure to not put too many 1-drops in there, because if you do, you will run out of cards. I'm pretty happy with Argent Protector, because that makes stuff have Divine Shield. That's obviously a nice ability. Then I would like Bilefin Tidehunter, because that does summon a lot of stuff for attacking. And honestly, all those stuff, these cards that summon a lot of small things, are usually good for aggro. Also, they synergize well with Abusive Sergeant because then you can buff them up and do large traits. I want Direwolves because they do buff up your stuff. I like that. Yeah, and I think there's not that many good 2-drops. Honestly, I think we'll have to go with the Flame Jugglers, and I think we're just gonna settle with that. Then we're gonna go to turn 3. I think Steward Doctor is really good for aggro because you summon a lot of 1-health creatures like Murloc Tidehunter and Silver Hero and Abuse Sergeant. So I like the Steward Doctor. I like the Horse Rider. That's fairly strong. Now that I am playing an aggressive deck, I think I would like to pick up Blood Knight. Most of you guys might not have this card because it's not that amazing in all general sense. But it's okay if you're playing a lot of Divine Shields, which I am. And I can steal my opponent's Divine Shields as well, which is kind of cool. So that's why I'm running that one. Except for that, there's honestly not that many good things you can play on turn 3, I guess. It doesn't look that impressive. I might just look for the Harvest Golems, they seem fairly strong. I'm just going to go back to here. We're going to put in Divine Favor because we're going to run out of cards quite quickly, and we might just put in Rallying Blade because that's very, very strong. Buffs all my Divine Shield minions. Then on turn 4, we're definitely going to have Keepers of Uldaman and Blessing of Kings. And we're going to have a True Silver as well. And actually now we hit 30 cards. And I feel like I might just want a bit more 4-drops here in this deck. I'm just going to look through what I've got, if there is anything I really want. I think I might cut out a 3-drop somewhere. Probably the Harvest Golems are going to be cut for another True Silver and Consecrate. So now I've got a lot of stuff, but I actually don't like this. I honestly just don't like it. I think I will be cutting probably the Consecrate and a single Blood Knight because you like the Divine Shield, you want to keep them. And I'm gonna put in the Standing into Darkness instead because it synergizes very well with the Steward Doctor. There we have it. So now we've got a pretty aggressive deck. As you see, there's no 6 or 7-drops, so we're fairly quickly going to run our cards, but Divine Favor should prevent that. In case you, like me, have been unlucky enough to get Net Pagel from some of the new cards out there, you would put that one in, because that will help your opponent draw more cards, which will help you draw more cards, which is just good. So I'm going to drop out Flame Juggler, I guess, because I kind of like the direwolves. I don't want to cut out those. And so now I'm playing Net the Darkfisher, and that seems fairly good to me. That's our aggro deck we've got right there. Then we're going to build a mid-range Paladin. Again, we're taking the custom deck because none of those are good. And we're just going to go start off at 1 again. With mid-range, the idea is that you can play control against aggro and aggro against control, so you will adapt to your opponent quite a lot. I like Self as a hero still, it's quite a strong minion. And except for that, I'm just looking through what I can get. I think a single agent squire will do fairly well. We don't want too many 1-drops here because we don't want to run out of cards. Then on turn 2, we're going to be looking at 2-drops, obviously. And I think we're going to just pick up the Flame Jugglers. And we're going to pick up something more. Just got to decide what it should be. I'm quite fond of Acidic Swarm Boost, so I'm going to pick up those. And I'm going to pick up the Protectors. Probably just 1 Protector, actually. That should be enough. Then on turn 3, we're going to pick up Stewards of Darkstrike, because they're still very good. They're still hero power, which makes them pretty good. Except for that, we're just going to look through what we can find. If there's something interesting, I think Harvest Golem's fairly good here. Yeah. There's honestly not that much good stuff here. So I might not pick any more 3-drops. Then on turn 4, we've got Keepers of Uldaman, we've got Blessing of Kings we want, we've got Consecrate, and we've got True Silver. And we want all those because they're really good cards. So we're just going to put them in there. Even though that creates a bit of a problem with having a lot of 4-drops, which is a bit bad, but we can live with it. Paladin has a lot of good 4-drops. Except for that, there's honestly not anything I really want. Potentially the Spellbreaker, but I think I'll do without it. And then I'm going to go to turn 5. Here, I think now we might just want to go onwards till we find something good. I like Harrison Jones because that in case we're facing warrior or something, we can just kill off their weapons. So that will work just fine. And except for that, the 5-drops are actually quite poor. So we might just pick up something kind of alright. We're gonna pick up a Standing in Darkness because we've got the Steward, the Councilman. And except for that, I think there's honestly not good enough 5-drops. So we're just not gonna have that much on turn 5. Then on turn 6, we're gonna just be looking through stuff. There's nothing on Paladin here, and that's pretty uninteresting. I think Korean Bloodhoof is fairly strong, and I think that Jessica Trueheart is fairly strong. Potentially not actually. It's more of a control card, honestly. Then we're going to have Sylvanas Windrunner, and on turn 7 and above, we're going to have no, not Adric. That was the wrong card. We're going to have Trine. We're going to have Lay on Hands because they always will help us win the late game. Oh, there you go. We're just gonna look through if there's anything else that we really want, and it honestly doesn't seem like it. So right now we've got 5 cards, which are just tech choices. Those 5 cards will be the cards we put in our deck to, well, suit it against different decks out there. So we would like silence because we doesn't have anything that silences stuff. So at the moment, the best silence card in the game is Spellbreaker, so we're just gonna pick that up. We're gonna deal with those big decks with equality because then we can do equality consecration. That's quite nice having that option. Then I think we're gonna pick up another Standing Against Darkness for a bit more of those. And we're probably going to say that we have quite a little card draw, so we're going to pick up a Cult Master, wherever it is. There it is. So that will help us a bit on the card draw. And then at last, I think we'll just pick up an additional agent squire, because that will help us in all general sense by getting a stronger early game. So yeah, this seems like a fairly solid deck to me. Yeah, on mid-range. You can see the curve is quite centered around the early to mid game, the turn 2, 3, 4, 5, so you have a lot of strong options there. I'm just going to name it mid-range. So that's fairly important. But you still have big things to finish off the game, and small things so you can rush your opponent down. Then we're going to go into the last archetype I'm going to show you guys today, the control archetype. This is where usually you play the big stuff, the late game. So what we're going to do is we're going to say turn 1. We honestly are not really interested in playing anything on turn 1. No, just maybe jousters, because they're good for killing enemy minions early. And we kind of like that. Yeah, I think that's it. But that means we can't put all that small minions in our deck. But that's honestly okay, because we don't really want to do that. I think Doomsayers are quite good, but probably just one is enough. I don't think 2 of them are going to be really useful, so we're just going to stick on 1. We're going to have 2 town. Wait, well, we don't have it. We want Wild Pyromancers, they're quite strong. We want Light in the Darkness, and we want Equality. Equality will help us deal with the enemy board, and Light in the Darkness will be a big minion and suited for our needs, while not getting bad things into our hand. And we'll get some margin lines as well, because that will clear out stuff. Then on turn 3, I think we're just going to grab 2 Elder Peacekeepers. And we might not actually want anything else from in here. There's honestly not anything that amazing, so we're just going to jump nicely over that. Then we want double Consecrate, and we want double Truce Over, but we're just going to keep looking. Yeah. I think we might consider Refreshment Vendor, but I'm not going to put it in there yet. We're definitely going to have Silence from Spellbreaker, because we're going to need that. And I think that Refreshment Vendor might just go in there as well. Then on turn 5, we're looking for Tusker Joustus, because that's very nice healing. And we're going to go with a single Solemn Vigil for some card draw. Then we might just grab the Harrison Jones for killing weapons. That's fairly nice. And we're honestly quite happy from that point on. On turn 6, we'll just look through what we've got. Jessica Trueheart's fairly good, and so is Sylvanas Windrunner. They're both quite strong minions. I'm considering to put in Corinne Bloodhoof, because she's fairly strong as well, but I like Sylvanas a bit more. Then we're going to put in Troyan Fondring, Ragnaros, and Lay on Hands, because those all. This one makes you stay alive, this one draws you cards and makes you stay alive, and Troyan will also just be a big fat guy on the opponent's way to victory. Then we're going to put in Ragnaros, because he kills people, and that's very nice, we like that, and we're probably going to put in Ysera as well. Now to make sure that we don't die early game, we would like a Forbidden Healing, but I do not have that card, so we're going to have to find some other way of making sure that we don't die. My best option here would probably be to put in a single Keep Up Ulliman, because that will empower our early creatures so they can do a bit more. And yeah, there you have it. As you see, guys, the curve is not having any specific focus. You just have been putting in all those cards that could potentially help it out, well, somehow. So the idea is here that you'll be putting in all those cards, and with these cards you'll then be trying to clear the board until you can drop out your insanely massive late game, which will just win you the game from that point on. So yeah, that is pretty much how you do the control. Yeah, I think that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed my walkthrough of the 3 types. I hope you might try one of those decks. You can put in a lot of different things in aggro. You might think that, well, if you have Mukla and you think you like that card, you might just take out an additional Flame Juggler and actually put in Mukla. Now I happen to have Mukla, so I can do that. It synergizes quite well with Divine Favor, so that's good. So actually you can play around with the decks, and you have good decks and you have bad decks. You can do lots of things. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, learned something, and that you might try some of the new decks. So I will see you in my next